Hi guys, I'm Amy. If you're watching this off the link on Twitter, you know me as Bieber Click or Bibxr Click. Um, yeah. So today I'm gonna do a video ranting on everything that has been going on lately in my life, in Belieber's life, just everything. Okay. The first half of my video is inspired by NY Kid Rawls. Her on Twitter. She just made a video about this, and so yeah, I'm gonna give her credit for the first half of my video because it was completely her idea, and she deserves to have credit for this. On YouTube, I think she's Elise Page. I'll put her YouTube name in my description. So yeah, and the second half is just pretty much me. So please listen to what I'm saying. There's some important things that have to be said that no one's saying, and they have to get out there. Okay? So the first part of my video, I'm gonna talk about people hating on Justin Bieber. People can hate on Justin Bieber as much as they want. People can have opinions on Justin Bieber as much as they want. That is fine, okay? I don't care if you like him or don't like him, but you have no reason to hate him and want to kill him. You have no reason. Like, what has he done to you that's that extreme? Actually, no, what has he done to you at all? Name, like, if I go up to a kid and he's like, I hate Justin Bieber, I'm going to be like, what has he done to you? And he won't say anything. Like, Justin hasn't done anything that affects him personally. Like, maybe, I can't even think of anything. Like, he has gotten caught for smoking weed. How has it affected the boys in my grade? There's not one way it's affected them. Like, honestly, I just can't. It's so annoying. Okay. Second of all, like, people are on Twitter, everyone's like, guys, if someone hates on Justin, stand up for Justin and stand up for yourself. Meanwhile, I bet the person sitting behind the computer tweeting that, when someone hates on Justin, then they're probably like, just walk away, and they'd be like, okay, and just walk away. You have to grab that person's hair, make sure they don't walk away, and tell them what's really going on. Okay? If someone calls Justin gay, this is what you say to them. What's wrong with being gay? Okay? Like, honestly, why is gay an insult? If you're gay, can you not be talented? Is that what you're saying? If you're gay, can you not be successful? If you're gay, can you not have 46 million fans? Is that what you're trying to say? Because that's what you're saying. Ask them what is wrong with being gay, and see what they say to you. I mean, if they don't support gay rights, then okay, my mistake. All right, then I get it. But most likely they will. Okay? You have to stand up for yourself and stand up for Justin. You have to have dignity for yourself. Like, honestly, it's just, I can't even take it. I just can't even take it. So yeah. You have to, I don't know, like, people, like, especially adults, like, adults are those people who, like, they'll see all the bad things he does, and, like, they'll automatically think that he's, like, a bad person, like, that you don't want, like, your kids to like them. Like, that's what they're automatically going to think. They're going to be like, oh, I don't want my kid to be influenced by them. So, like, I did this to one of my grandparents, who I hadn't seen in a while, so she, like, I hadn't seen her since I was, like, 9, and that was, like, literally, like, right before I started liking Justin, or, like, right when I sort of started liking him. That was, like, 2009, and I saw her during spring break 2012, or 2013, and she saw me wearing my Justin Bieber shirt, and she was like, is that Justin Bieber? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, oh, that loser? I was like, what? And she was like, he's such a loser. He smokes weed, he does drugs. And I'm like, he's like, and I was like, I know he's done drugs before, and I know he smoked weed before, but he doesn't do it consistently, and I know that for a fact. And she was like, well, even if he doesn't, he's still just a bad guy. I'm like, is giving back $1 a ticket, or so $18,000 a show, to charity, a bad guy? And then she didn't say anything, and I was like, is meeting a Make-A-Wish child after every concert a bad guy? Is giving back to charity, is giving half of your albums money a bad guy to giving half the album's money to charity, a bad guy, and she was like, so they were so then she was talking about it, and she was like, I didn't know he did any of that stuff, and no one ever talks about it. They only talk about the bad things. I guess, like, I shouldn't have said that. Like, I don't really know anything about it. And I was like, thank you. Like, honestly, thank you so much. Adults are gonna, like, tell you that he's a bad guy, because they don't want you liking him. They don't want you being like, oh yeah, I love Justin Bieber, he's a great idol, but he is a great idol, and, like, they just don't understand all the good things he does. So, if you're talking to an adult about it, bring up the good things he does. If you're talking to a kid and you tell them about all the charity work he does, they're not going to care. They're just going to hate him for, like, who he is. They're just going to hate him for being Justin Bieber. So just, if you're talking to a kid and they call him gay, say, what's wrong with being gay? If you're talking to a kid and they say they hate him, ask them what has he done to you personally that makes you hate him. And they're probably not going to have an answer. And that's the truth, and you all know it. So instead of complaining about people hating on Justin from behind the screen, do something about it. For Justin's dignity and for yours, okay? You don't want to be known as the girl who hates the weed-smoking Justin Bieber in your school. You want to be known as the girl who loves the weed-smoking Justin Bieber in school. You want to be known as the girl who loves the amazing guy who gives back to charity. You have to change people's ideas about him. I mean, like, you're not going to change people's opinions, but, like, you have to get into people's heads that he does good stuff and that he's not a bad person. You just have to people need to know that, and people don't know that, and they need to. Okay, on to the second part of the video. This is about supporting Justin. I see people on Twitter tweeting stuff about how they have to everyone should be handing out flyers for Music Mondays, and everyone should be telling all their friends about it. Meanwhile, they're probably sitting behind a computer doing nothing about it. They're probably just telling other people to do it, trying to make people think that they are doing it. When I have been handing out flyers and writing over the bathroom mirrors in my school, "Buy Heartbreaker," or whatever came out that week. I've been giving them to my teachers. I've been hanging them around the school. I've been giving them, shoving them in people's lockers. I have been supporting Justin nonstop this Music Mondays, because I know he deserves recognition on these, which he's been getting. So I don't want you, like, you guys are all being giant jackasses, sitting behind your computer, telling other people to support them and criticizing them for not supporting them when you're not doing anything. Okay? You're not being a good person, whether you're convincing yourself into thinking that you're doing something when you're not. Okay? You also, with all the voting, you, like, honestly, like, holy crap, it's so annoying. Like, people sit there, people are sitting there on Twitter telling people to go vote. You're spending your time on Twitter telling people to go vote. Why don't you go vote yourself? Okay? Everyone is doing this, including me sometimes. And I'm going to stop. I'm going to go vote. I'm not going to spend as much time on Twitter until all the award show passes and stuff. But everyone has to stop. Like, honestly, like, this is why Justin is losing awards, is because we're telling people to vote, thinking people are voting, and no one's actually voting. Okay? I mean, it doesn't matter if you go on Twitter, like, you vote, like, a couple times, or, like, I try to vote, like, 20 times an hour every day. Like, not when I'm sleeping, so it's probably, like, 20 times an hour for 12 hours. I'm not gonna do the math. But, like, I try to do that every day until the award show comes up. And sometimes I can't. I mean, sometimes I'm in school, but if I have a chance, I'll vote as much as I can while I'm in school. So it's not, like, I try as hard as I can to, like, support Justin and get him in votes. And you know what? I will go on Twitter and I'll be like, guys, everyone should be voting. Go vote, do this. And I'll tell people to go vote. And I get it. I'm voting too. Like, I mean, I'm doing the same thing. But some people are going on there, on Twitter, and commenting on my, like, if I tweet something, this doesn't have to do with voting, they'll comment, you should be voting instead right now. Meanwhile, they've been on Twitter the whole day, so they're obviously not voting. Like, go do I'm working as hard as I can, and you should be too. Just, everyone needs to support him. One last thing is, this next Monday, November 11th, is Veterans Day. So if you live in New York, we are going to go down to Times Square at 2 o'clock on that Monday, and we're going to get a bunch of believers to go down, and we're going to be handing out flyers and taping them to, like, signs and stuff, and, like, advertising Justin's music and Believe movie. Then, so if you live in New York, go to 94's Thrill on Twitter, or you can DM me, talk to me about it, and I'll set you up with her. So yeah, you guys should, like, I mean, if you have a couple friends and, like, they're believers and, like, you guys go into town and just tape some signs around the place, just get him recognition. Put them on bulletin boards in stores. Anything that will help, like, anything that will help him get recognition from people who he wouldn't get recognition from. Like, he's going to get recognition from his fans, but he's not going to get recognition from random people who don't like him or, like, aren't fans. Like, most of the general public doesn't like Justin. So, just, you have to advertise him because they're not going to pay attention to what Justin Bieber's coming out with if they're not his fan or they're not his believer. So, advertise him, please. So, I just had to get that out there. My Twitter is in my description. If you live in New York and you want to take a part in that, tweet me. And also the name of NY Kid Rose YouTube account will be in there too. So I'm giving her credits for this video. Thanks. Subscribe to my channel and watch my videos. And please listen to what is in this video. Please.